Hello learners, in today's video we'll talk about the largest congregation or gathering in the world, which is Mahakumbh Mela. So we'll try to understand the cultural significance and some key important facts about this particular gathering. So one thing we need to know that this particular Mela which is happening, we'll see the location as well. It's the largest religious gathering in the world which happens every 12 years, and that the place where this congregation happens is the Prayagraj, which is in our Uttar Pradesh. And coming to why this kind of congregation, or why do people try to come or gather at this particular site, is because they wanted to take a holy dip, because in Hinduism it is believed that when you take a holy dip in sacred rivers, it is considered that you will be washing out all your sins and will attain salvation, which is called moksha. So this is a main purpose of this particular gathering, and that is why people are coming all across the globe in this particular region. And coming to what is the exactly historical origin, we'll try to just understand in a brief way. It is understood that the Samudra Manthan, or the churning of the ocean, has happened, and this is believed in Hindu mythology, saying that the Amrit, or the nectar of the immortality, came out or spilled while doing or while churning the ocean, and that thing happened in four particular, or the spilled water, or whatever the Amrit is considered, that got spilled in four particular places, and that is in Prayagraj, which is in Uttar Pradesh, Haridwar, which is in Uttarakhand, Ujjain, which is in our Madhya Pradesh, and Nasik, which is in Maharashtra. So these are the four sacred places which is considered where the Kumbh Mela happens. And the Mahakumbh Mela, which is happening once in every 12 years, is at Prayagraj. And these places became the Kumbh Mela, this particular four places. And where is this mentioned, or this particular historical origin is mentioned in our Puranas and our Mahabharata and also our Rigveda. And most key point is that the Chinese traveler, who is a contemporary of Harshavardhana, named Huan Sang, also kind of mentioned such kind of similar events in his travelogue. Now, where is this location? As I said that there are four locations where the water got spilled, or the Amrit got spilled. The Prayagraj, which is the Sangam, where the congregation of Ganga, Yamuna and the mythical Saraswati, which is not there in present day India, but it has been mentioned in our ancient text. So the congregation of three rivers at this particular place is the first location. And Haridwar, which is on the banks of Ganga, which is in our present day Uttarakhand, and Ujjain, which is on the banks of the Shipra river, which is in present day Madhya Pradesh, and Nashik on the banks of Godavari, which is in present day Maharashtra. So these are the four things, and the festival is going to rotate among these locations based on the astrological alignments. Now, see, these are the four locations, and these are the rivers associated with those four locations. Now, there are again different types of Kumbh Melas. First one would be the Purna Kumbh Mela, which is presently happening, which is held every 12 years, and that too at Prayagraj. And Ardha Kumbh Mela, which will happen every 6 years, and Prayagraj and Haridwar. The Mahakumbh Mela is celebrated, which occurs every 144 years. That means the 12 Purna Kumbh Melas together combined would be our Mahakumbh Mela, which is happening in 2025. So this particular event, how is government handling, lies important for our concern. Next, the fourth one would be the Magh Kumbh Mela, which is an annual event at Prayagraj, considered like a mini Kumbh. So there are four different types of Kumbh Melas happen, and the third one which we are talking is the largest gathering, because it's so sacred, considered so sacred that because it is happening at every 144 years. Now, what are the rituals and practices? We'll just have a brief understanding. The Shani Snan, which is like a royal bath, the sacred bathing by aesthetics and the saints at this particular auspicious time will happen. And the second one, the Kalpavas, where the devotees will live a simple life on the river banks during this particular Mela. And there are a lot of cultural events like the spiritual discourses, fairs, musics and dance performance happen, where this particular thing the government would be taking care of. Next, the Naga Sadhus, which is an attraction to this particular Kumbh Mela. People are coming all over across the globe, especially for the Naga Sadhus, who are like, they are kind of an aesthetics from different akhadas, participate prominently. And this is the main important thing why people come and gather over this particular thing. And now the significance come. There are multi-dimensional significance like the religious, cultural, economic and social significance. Coming to religious significance, it is offering the spiritual purification where people are gathering and they're trying to attain something called moksha. That is when people are aligned to the spiritual lines, they might, or some kind of a purification happens in the main and they can betterly contribute to the society. And the cultural thing, the number of people coming, across 15 million people gathered. So this kind of unity would never be seen in anywhere. So there's a lot of cultural significance. There would be transfer of knowledge, or the cultural knowledge especially, where the India's ancient cultural heritage will be represented unitily, like everyone, all the Indians come together and as a one unit, they are trying to represent the culture. And economic, obviously it is going to boost the local economy, the tourism, trade and also the hospitality sectors. Coming to social, it acts like a congregation for sharing the spiritual knowledge and the cultural tradition. So there are multi-dimensional significance for this particular event. Now in 2025, whatever is going on now, we'll understand some key facts. So the place or the event which is happening is at Prayagraj, which is present today Uttar Pradesh, and the data says that it attracted over 150 million pilgrims across the world, not just India. And the preparation included enhancement of infrastructure where the roads, railways, sanitation and temporary shelters were being built. So this is a very good thing, but recently we have seen a cylinder blast. Such kind of events happen because a lot of people trying to come and gather. So that's very unfortunate situation happened, though the preparations done so good. And also there is a lot of technology being integrated to happen this for the crowd management, like the AI, the drones and multiple apps were being used. And they are mainly focusing, this is a key point of 2025 Kumbh Mela, that the eco-friendly measures were being taken so that we can prevent pollution. Just imagine the polluted water, or the water gets polluted, the air gets polluted when this crowd is getting gathered. So there are a lot of eco-friendly kind of measures being taken in particular 2025. In orderly, we say that we wanted to align with SDG goals. Now, what happened to this particular event globally? We got recognized as, the UNESCO has recognized as our intangible cultural heritage in the year 2017. And this is attracting international tourism, including researchers and the photographers. Researchers, mainly the foreigners, wanted to learn so much about Hinduism, so they are being attracted across the globe and featured in the global media for its scale, the spirituality and the organization. So the global recognition, not just in India, but this particular event is having a global recognition. So definitely when you try to gather that amount of crowd, there will lie a number of challenges, but these are the key important challenges which has to be really been taken care of. The crowd management is very important because the millions of people are coming and gathered in a very small area. And the environmental impact, we do not know how people's mindset are there because global congregation, the global gathering is happening. So definitely there would be question of getting polluted in a different multiple matters of the environment. Then there is logistical issues. Obviously, you need to provide adequate transportation and also healthcare facilities because the crowd is large. And there are also security concerns because the number of people are like largely unbelievable number. So there is obviously safety has to be ensured amidst this particular gathering. Now, what has government did? Across the years, what has government taken? There's infrastructure development which is very appreciable in the year 2025. They have constructed temporary bridges, roads and sanitation facilities. That too, women and children are being given importance over this particular area. and the special trains and buses for the smooth transportation was being provided. And coming to technology integration, and especially in 2025 year gathering, there was use of drones, AI and apps for the crowd and the traffic management. There are live tracking of this particular events on the digital platforms. This is a very important key feature of this particular 2025 gathering. And main importantly, to align out to our SDG goals and the climate change problems and all such kind of things, environmental measures have been very strictly been taken, like the ban on plastics and the promotion of biodegradable materials, and also the continuous river cleaning drives, because this huge amount of crowd is going and taking, they're believing that they're taking a holy dip. Just imagine how much amount of the water is getting polluted and at what level. So the continuous river cleaning drives are all being provided. And the cultural promotion, like there is Indian heritage showcasing happening through the cultural level, so that the international crowd can learn more about the Hindu culture. So what can we learn from this particular gathering is the cultural heritage. We have to feel so proud that we are so rich in the culture. And the tourism, there is a lot of boost in the religious and the cultural tourism because of such kind of important events. And the third lesson would be importantly the event management, because to manage this particular large crowd you require a proper managing skills. So the government should learn how to plan the crowd management and the logistics, and more importantly taking account of the environmental issues of this particular gathering. So this is a symbol of our rich heritage, social harmony and organizational prowess. So such kind of events are showcasing the unifying factor and the spiritual factor of this particular beautiful country. Thank you.